Hi, I'm Jay Leeming, and this is your Mythic News Flash for today. This is the news which stays news because myth is always happening now. And our news flash for today comes from the medieval story Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. You need no preparation for this story. No preparation is possible. Here it is, coming at ya. La da 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 da. Winter. Winter, and in that winter, there was a great feast prepared in a castle. And in the feasting hall, there were lords and ladies. But all the food was in the kitchen, it had yet to be brought out. And in that moment, the king stood up. And the king, whose name was Arthur, he stood up and he said, "Dear friends, lords and ladies, we are gathered here today on the shortest day of the year. Today is the winter solstice. And on such a day as this, it is only right that we be fed both in body and in soul. So I declare on this day, I will not eat until I have seen a great wonder." And then Arthur sat down. Well, no one knew what to do. People were silent. They stared at the floor. They stared at the rings on their fingers. And some clever person was about to say that really, all of them being there alive and well, that was wonder enough. But just then there was a shout at the gate of the castle. And everyone heard the clatter of horses' hooves on stone. And then another shout. And then into that hall there came a green knight on a green horse. This man was green in his eyelashes and in his toes, green in his clothes and in his hair. His eyes were green and his horse was green. Every hoof and whisker of that horse was green. And he had a large battle axe strapped to his back. And he had a sprig of green holly in his left hand. And he came slowly to the middle of the feasting hall. And he came to the center table there, the head table where Arthur and Guinevere sat. And he got off his horse, and he placed that sprig of holly on that table. And he spoke and said, "Arthur, Guinevere, lords and ladies of this court, I have come to bring a challenge to your kingdom. And this is the challenge. I seek someone to strike me a great blow with this axe. A blow here and now, and I will not defend myself from this blow. And in a year, that challenger must receive a blow from me as well. And he shall not defend himself from that blow. That is my challenge." Well, once again, people began to look at the floor. All the proud, strong, brave knights, and the ladies there as well, they looked at their empty goblets. They felt the emptiness of that moment, the question, a question big enough for crows to live in and have 1,000 other crow children in. A windy question rasping in that hall. No one said anything. And Arthur, it seemed, was about to speak. He cleared his throat. And in that moment, a knight named Sir Gawain, well, he spoke and said, "I accept this challenge." "Yes, I do." And he stood up, and the Green Knight said, "Ah, good, Sir Gawain, yes, come, come." And Sir Gawain went to the center of that hall. And he accepted that stiff, silver, sharp battle axe from that Green Knight. And the Green Knight said, "Strike me a blow, sir. Yes, strike me a blow." And he knelt down on the stones of that floor. And he even took his hand and he moved back the hair right there from his neck like this, so that Sir Gawain would get a good, clear shot at his neck. Sir Gawain took that axe. He looked around. He lifted it high up into the air, and for a moment every eye and flame of a candle in that room was reflected in that blade. And then he brought it whistling down, shoom, and he chopped the Green Knight's head clean from his shoulders, and the head rolled across the floor. The floor was covered in blood, and there was a spark as that blade hit the stones, and everyone gasped. And then the headless body of the Green Knight stood up. And it walked towards one of the tables, and it reached down with a green arm and a green hand, and it fished around under there, and it pulled out its own head and held it up before everyone in that hall. And the head began to speak, and it said, "Sir Gawain, I will see you in a year." And then the headless body put the head under its own arm, got onto the horse, turned, and began to gallop away. Out of that hall, out of this story, and that is your Mythic Newsflash for today. Thank you for joining me.